Great, welcome back. So I'm wearing a hockey shirt. I hope you guys don't mind, even though this is entertainment guy and everything. Today I just have to talk about this. Watching Brazil and Korea and realizing that like South Korea is really giving its all out there, but man, when Brazil has that turned on, that it is remarkable to watch. It is, and I wanted to do this video too because there's one topic that's out there, and I think it's ridiculous, and I get it, and I'm pretty sure I've heard this before. There are some complaining about some of the celebration, the dancing being done after the goals by the Brazilian team, and saying it disrespects the game, it disrespects South Korea. I have watched those celebrations for a long time. It feels like it's a staple of Brazilian soccer. Now, soccer slash football, however you want to term it, it can be boring. It can be a tough watch. There was the Croatian game. Yeah, that was a tough watch. Not the most exciting of soccer there. But Brazil comes out. They play a great first half. Second half, they clearly took their foot off the gas. Subbed out as many guys, get as many guys on the field as possible, so they can say they played at the World Cup, have that experience, and it was great. And Neymar is Neymar. He's really an amazing player, and there are a few who can. Like I was even thinking about it while watching it. I thought, you could probably have two Brazils. You could probably have the guys who got cut from Team Brazil as a second team of Brazilians and still have them get into the round of 16. You could have two Brazilian teams in the round of 16. I'm sure they're not the only country that could be said of, but they're just remarkably talented, and I appreciate the celebrations because it can be tough to watch it, especially when a team goes into, basically a trap. We're going to just play back and we're just gonna keep just kick the ball that way, kick it over that. Just as long as it's nowhere near the net, we don't care. And we're not trying to score anymore. We're not trying to go forward. We're not trying that. We're just gonna play back. It is the one thing that I think, as a North American, I can say I think it's held the sport back on this side of the ocean. Where for fans in North America, I mean, with football can be boring, but you get those big hits and you get the big. I mean, NFL, you've got all the graphics, and the TV presentation really makes football look a heck of a lot more exciting than it really is. Baseball, similar. Baseball, they can build it up, and it's similar, although the younger crowd not as big into baseball because it can be boring and games can be long as well. Now, basketball, the kids love that because you've got, 200 points a game. You've got all kinds of highlight reel dunks and moves throughout the whole game, and there's so much scoring, there's so much that goes on. You have dramatic comebacks and big, huge shots. Hockey kind of has some of that appeal as well, in that there can be big comebacks. That's going on right now. There's highlight reel goals all the time. There's big hits. Soccer doesn't really have that, and you can have a 90-minute game where it's just you kick it there, then you kick it here, then you kick it there, then you bring it back here, and you kick it. Like, it can be a tough watch. So while I can appreciate it, and I think it's because I've watched soccer dating back to when I was a young kid. So I can appreciate 45 minutes of guys kicking a ball around just to kill time. I can appreciate that, but I can also understand why for other people that can be boring. So circling back to the topic of Brazil, if they really want this game to get a little more attention from North American fans, and I know they don't need it. I understand that FIFA's making a ton of money without it. Some of it legal, but the reality is that, if you can get some more American eyeballs on it, you can get more money from the US, you're going to do it. And so I don't have a problem with the celebrations. I think that what Brazil did today was absolutely remarkable. Plus, I'm going to say this, the fact they let up in the second half showed a lot of respect as well. There are teams that might not have, that might have said, oh, we can win this one 8-0, can't we? And go out and score 4 more. And I am sure that Brazil, if they wanted to, and if they really put their minds to it, could have scored a couple more goals. But the key thing was, we don't want anybody getting hurt, and we want to make sure that, as many guys get into this game as possible, so everybody's had the experience, and just get out of this game quickly and get it done. And they did. So while I feel bad for Korea, really, in all honesty, South Korea was up against it, and I think they knew that before the game. I think they knew it would be a small miracle for them to stay within a goal of Brazil by the end of the game, much less by the end of the first half. So, yeah, I really have enjoyed the World Cup, seeing as much as I've been able to. Keeping in mind that there's been a lot of hockey on weekends. I've been watching as much as I can. And I'm looking forward to the 2026 games, which will be during the summer. So there should be no conflict between hockey and soccer, and it should be on at a time of day that I can watch. And then I could do recaps of all the games. I think that'd be great. So, and understanding too that it's going to be more teams. I don't like the 3 teams idea. The 16 groups of 3, I think, should be dead on arrival. I think if you can't find a way to make it 12 groups of 4, and I've heard the arguments against it. I understand not wanting to make it longer, and you need more wins now to get, you know, to the championship. Although I thought it was weird seeing, well, they don't want to take it from 7 wins to 8. You don't have to win anything in the round robin to make the top 2. I mean, it helps if you win 2 games and you're in, but you don't have to. We saw teams get in that didn't win more than a game maybe in that round robin. So I will say that it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And if it's 16 groups of 3, there will be a lot of complaining. A lot. And I think rightfully so. Again, for FIFA, the most important thing for FIFA right now is distance yourself from your past. And by which I mean all of the stuff, all of the controversies. They need to distance themselves as quickly as possible. And I'm not sure that creating a scenario where teams could collude to get one team out. You could have 2 teams saying, so we get along and we agree that, let's say Brazil, right? The 2 countries that could say, well, why don't we just try to get Brazil? Why don't we help each other? So, and that was something I saw right away was, well, couldn't 2 teams collude to get the 3rd out? Again, it's not as easy as that, but just you don't want to have the appearance of that. You don't want the appearance of anything unseemly going on or something that shouldn't be. So, I would be interested to know your thoughts on the matter. Brazil and whether or not they celebrate too much. How you feel about the 6 games so far. There hasn't been a result yet that's been a surprise. Which I think it's good because it means the best countries are moving forward, but it is kind of a drawback because it does kind of show there's a hierarchy in soccer where there's certain countries that are just at that level, and you can have a 32-team tournament and everybody's on an even playing field, but not really, because you know there's certain countries that are just that good, and there are certain countries that are giving their best, giving their best effort, but they're just not quite there. So let me know your thoughts on that, on the Qatar games as they've been so far. And how you guys feel about the 16 teams or 16 groups of 3 instead of 12 groups of 4. Let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for all your support. It means a lot. I will talk to you again soon.